If someone says that he is not afraid, he's either a Gorkha or he's lying. Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw was a Gorkha himself.
Did you see him?
Yes, I had the good fortune of having lunch in his house. I heard this from Field Marshal Manekshaw. The Subedar में just said कि साहब अभी हमको पता लगा है इंडियन आर्मी क्यों हम लोग को हराया है.
How is the Indian army different from other armies of the world?
We are more human, we are more closer to the boys, whereas others, there is a huge difference. And the last thing that the Gorkhas taught me was that look after yourself also.
So tell us about the LOC.
When the transport firings were at the height.
What is it like?
They are firing, they are firing.
Is it like
Diwali.
Okay.
That was Manipur. We killed, I think, 5-6 militants. Give me a mauka again, हम फिर वही करेंगे. Army is a way of life.
Joining us today is a man whose life story is nothing short of epic. Colonel Basudev Mitra, a decorated veteran of the Indian Army, brings to us a wealth of experiences from the battleground and beyond. From controlling insurgency in northeastern part of India to the line of control in India-Pakistan border, this man has truly done it all. So without further ado, let's dive deep into the life of a soldier, a leader, and a great human being who has truly done stuff his own way. Welcome Colonel Basudev Mitra to an episode of Thinking Deep.
Sir, historically, the number of times I have had interactions with anyone from the armed forces, I somehow have felt a kind of intimidation. But with you, I somehow feel a lot more relaxed. And that's been there since the first interaction. So I would give full credit to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Probably I understand the youth much better. I understand the modern generation much better. That is why I'm more adaptable.
Yes.
That's why probably I can make you feel at ease.
Thank you, sir. So we do have another thing in common, which is our schooling.
Yes. South Point, as they say that anywhere in the world you go, you turn a rock and you will find a South Pointer.
Yes, find the South Pointer.
There.
Which year did you
I
pass
am
out?
78 Madhyamik. 80 is my high secondary.
My God.
So Ashu Babu, Sham Babu, Anjan Dashgupta, all those stalwarts, they were there.
So you're elder than my father also. So there is no point in discussing about the common people. Okay, so sir, we'll just start from your beginning days.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how about your childhood, sir?
I was born in I think Bhawanipur. Yeah, Bhawanipur.
Kolkata only.
Yeah, Kolkata only.
Okay.
My father was a structural engineer. So he did his engineering from London. That was in the late 50s. And my mother in those days was a master's in Bengali from Calcutta University, and that too from a place called Chinsura. So she used to come from there daily to attend her classes, do her studies, and then go back, which is quite a Herculean task. And that's how thereafter they got married in 60. I was born in 62. And I happened to be born on a day on which probably I was meant to serve the nation. It is 26th of January.
My God. So your birthday is just 5 days from now.
Yeah.
5
It's
days.
26th January 1962 that I arrived on this earth.
Arrived.
Yeah.
Great. So in your schooling, did you have anything in the back of your head that I'm going to serve the nation or something like that?
No, nothing. I used to play, only play. The only thing that could keep me motivated is playing. In the winters, play cricket. In the summers, play football. And I was pretty good at it in football and cricket. But I always had a preference of football.
Great.
Even I had a discussion with my father that I want to pursue it as a career.
And what was his reaction to that?
He was okay with that, but he said that, will you be able to earn your bread by playing football? That was I'm talking of 1978, 79, 80. He said that it's a very good thing, but you must think that whether you'll be able to earn your bread. You will play for 5 years, 6 years. How much do these people pay? Because that time it was not a professional league in India. It was just a amateurish league, and the payments used to be happening under the table.
Acha.
To give you an example, Sham Thapa, a very famous person, Subhash Bhomik, Muhammad Habib, Akbar, they used to be paid like 30,000 rupees in a year used to be a huge amount. So, but it was all in cash.
All right.
Then after that, what? My father asked me that question, that after that, what?
And how were you as a student? Were you a meritorious student?
Meritorious, I can't say. But yes, I was a national scholar.
My God, okay.
I was within the, I think, top 100 in Madhyamik.
Great.
That's how it happened.
Acha.
And then it was class 11, 12, where I concentrated too much on my football, my this thing. And there were certain things which happened at that time in South Point. The higher secondary papers got leaked, and there was a huge scandal. And the whole batch of 1980 were quite victimized at that time. So thereafter, my results were not good. And I went to a place called Thakurpukur, Vivekananda College, Thakurpukur. That was the only place where I could get an admission, that too in economics.
Okay.
So my father said that because I had appeared in the JEE and I didn't get a seat.
JEE means the engineering.
The engineering one. So I didn't get a seat. In the economics, I was studying. My father said that you study economics because I was clueless. Once you get a good result in class 10 and then you fall from grace in 12, you are a disillusioned boy.
It's a very overwhelming feeling.
Yes. And then what happens is you lose your friends, you lose your relatives. Everybody keeps a distance and they move away. So luckily we were 3 friends. One of them later on became a sports editor in Times of India.
No, why did the relatives and friends, they move away?
Because I was a non-performing person. People only are attracted to the honey.
The same thing, the same thing happened with me. I was after my 10th result was kind of okayish. I will not say very good, but my 12th was horrible, and then a lot of incidents happened. I lost a lot of friends and families and relatives. They somehow, and they label you in a certain way, and it's a very unsafe thing.
Yes. And you have only your parents who are also disillusioned at that time what to do with the son.
Yes.
And absolutely. I was the eldest one. They had a lot of dreams with me, which all failed. The whole thing came crumbling down. So I went to Vivekananda College, Thakurpukur, 3 of us. We were very good friends, and we still are. About 55 years, we are having that friendship now.
Great.
So one is a sports editor in Times of India.
Okay.
He retired. And the second one is in London. He is the chief risk assessment officer of UK and Europe in SBI. So when I look back on the things that happened, probably nothing matters.
Yes.
If you start hardworking, nothing matters. And then another very unfortunate incident happened with me is that in Vivekananda College, Thakurpukur, everybody else was having a Bengali medium instruction. So I had a combination of physics, economics, and mathematics. So in the mathematics, I passed the past paper. In physics...
So you gave the exam in Bengali?
No, economics was fine.
Okay.
Maths was fine. In the physics paper, unfortunately, I received a Bengali question paper.
Oh.
And I had no clue, because being physics, the English terminologies and the Bengali terminologies, they are like South Pole and North Pole.
Completely different.
So I think I submitted the paper blank. I flunked.
Yes.
That year. Came back again, and then again I passed the exam. When I fell at that time, that is the time when I told the Almighty that जितना गिराना है मेरे को नीचे गिराओ, वापस तो मैं आऊंगा, उठूंगा तो जरूर, because there can't be a a depth which doesn't have an end. Everywhere there is an end. But then you should have, or one should have, that strength and the courage of conviction that I will come back.
The same scenarios happened with me. Like as they say that the moment you hit rock bottom,
True.
From there on, the only way you can go is up.
Up. Yes.
उससे नीचे आप नहीं जा सकते.
नहीं जा सकते.
बिल्कुल. हाँ.
So then I gave the exam of the army, and then I joined the army.
Okay. And this was in which year?
85.
1985.
Yeah, this was actually a very funny thing happened.
Okay.
My father, he was a structural engineer, and he was trying to introduce a certain type of a steel in India. What you see now all over India is a ribbed bar.
Okay.
All bars that are, there's a rassi ke tarah page laga hua hai.
Correct.
So my father was the one who introduced that to India. So in a company called Touristic Steel Corporation, my father and a friend. So that is the time when he was moving from pillar to post to get this introduced in India, but nobody was accepting it, being a foreign thing. And
Yeah.
so in Calcutta, there is a huge army housing called the Turf View, opposite the race course.
Yeah.
So that is the place where they accepted that Tor steel.
Okay.
And those multi-storied buildings happened.
Achha.
And seeing that army has done this, others then took it on. So he got his biggest break of his life from the army.
Okay.
And he used to go and interact with army officers. He used to go into the Fort William. So he was very impressed about the whole thing. And I, being a footballer, he motivated me that if you join the army, you can play a lot of football. And I'm not a desk person. I cannot sit down at a place. So both these things, he said that, why don't you try for the army? Now, हमारे 7 पुरखों में कोई सेना में नहीं है. Nowhere. मतलब people used to think, यार इसको कुछ हुआ नहीं है क्या? मतलब इसको कोई और मौका नहीं मिला, ये फौज में जा रहा है.
मतलब this is the last option.
Last option.
Not even the last option. Like,
he's gone. He's gone.
Correct.
But yes, I said that let's go there. And the exams are very tough. You appear for the CDSE examination, which is conducted by the UPSC. And then you are shortlisted for the SSB, the Services Selection Board.
Okay.
This is only for the officers.
Okay.
Now, there are 3 Services Selection Board in our time. One was in Allahabad, now Prayagraj. One is in Bhopal, and one is in Bangalore. So a group of 20, 24 people go there, and then various tests are taken. It's a very wrong idea of people that we are tested for our physical ability. Now, physical ability nobody sees there. Physical capability, physical ability, because those are for the Jawans.
Acha.
For the officers.
The officers. Okay.
So for the officers, they see that what is inside you.
Still, there is no like parameter that you need to be this height or
No.
there is nothing.
No.
Okay.
Officers, of course, he has to be generally 5'4" and all this thing. But it's a very, very minimal thing.
Very minimal thing.
But what they do is they find out what is inside you. Like how much of a selfish guy you are. So that, like if I give you a word to write, that you make a sentence.
Okay.
Right? I say that chair. You write that the chair is made of wood. Then I write table. You said we sit on the table. Now this is given for 10 seconds.
Okay.
Each word.
Okay.
Now like this, there are 60 words.
All right.
So as the time pressure builds, as you progress, the selfish guy will start writing I. I sit on the chair. I do this on the table. I do this. The major I's are there, the lesser chance you have to be inducted.
So it has to be a we.
Yes. We do this.
We, yeah, absolutely.
So somehow I qualified from there. We were a batch of 24. Only three got selected.
And you were one of them.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Okay.
And then thereafter the medical tests happened and I went to the OTA, the Officers Training Academy, Chennai. Yes, Chennai.
Okay.
Now, in Chennai, what happens is there are two types of officers who come out in the army. They get inducted. One is from the IMA, which is the more common one which we have had, Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. So there, the training is for about, I think, 15, 16 months or 17, 18 months.
Okay.
And the other one is in the Officers Training Academy, Chennai, where the training is for about 10 to 12 months.
Okay.
So in this OTA, what happens is you have...
So what are these trainings like? Is it more of a physical training or mental, physical?
Mental, physical, both. Both.
Okay.
Like physical training means...
give us a few examples of what the physical training looks like.
Physical training is running 3.2 kilometers in a certain time with full battle gear. Then there are battle obstacle courses. Those are all within the structured one. The physical and the mental ragda starts when your punishment starts.
Okay.
Like you get a funny side of it is you receive a letter from the house. To receive that letter, which comes through the senior, you have to give 30 push-ups per letter.
Okay, acha.
So that's where they ensure that you become a solid person in the shortest possible time. Like when you enter the OTA, they break you down and make you a different person altogether. A boy coming from Manipur, a boy coming from Gujarat or anywhere, Madhya Pradesh or Bengal, finally they come out as one. There is no difference between them in their thinking, in their soch.
Once you get in that arena, there is no discrimination.
There is no discrimination. Like you go to a barber shop. Now, barber shop, there are say 3-4 chairs.
Okay.
So your hair is being cut. So generally it is the seniors, one batch senior who is sitting there. So you enter at that time when they are doing the haircut. So you have to wait. So you wait on the chairs? No. There you put your legs on the wall and hands on the ground and wait.
Okay. Acha.
So that's how you become tough.
My God.
Then you have...
like literally you're saying this just for a haircut you have to do this?
Yeah. Legs on the wall is very common.
Like
So,
your body upside down basically.
Yeah, body upside down.
Till the other person...
Till your chair gets vacant.
My God. Okay.
So when I got commissioned in 85, my father said a beautiful thing to my instructors.
Commission means you graduated?
I graduated with the stars.
Okay.
You do a passing out parade and then you walk the Antim Path and then you cross that. And then you get a star on your shoulder.
Okay. Do you have any rank?
That time it used to be second lieutenant, 1 star.
Okay, second lieutenant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it is lieutenant, 2 stars.
Okay.
So generally it is done by your parents and your instructor. So
we've seen that in movies.
Yes. Yeah. My mother and my father,
they both went.
They both went from here, and that is the time when they take out the cover on the star, and you feel that you are king of this world. With that one star, one small star.
Okay.
That's how you get commission.
Okay.
So my father told my instructor a very nice thing. My father said that I sent you a boy, you made a man out of him. I think...
Such a big thing.
Yeah. I think that was the
Nothing
closing statement. Nothing can be bigger than this.
Absolutely.
Like how they break you up initially is that when you are in the drill square, when you are doing those marchings and all, that is the time they make you, they crucify you with 2 sticks. Crucify means they put 1 stick on your spine from the back, and 1 stick is across, and you put your hands like this. And you got to walk like this. So your spine is straight and your shoulder becomes broader. That's how you break a person and make a new one.
My God.
So the spine physically and metaphorically
Till now,
has
that
to be
posture
strong.
is pretty much maintained. Is my posture okay? Should I sit more like
chest
this?
out.
Chest out. Okay. Yeah.
Chest out is the
Yeah.
biggest way to put your spine straight.
Yeah.
And as I say that in training, they make your spine straight physically
Mentally also.
and metaphorically.
So you graduated in which year, sir?
That was in August 1985.
1985 only. All right.
There you have to give a choice of arms, like whether you want to join the armored corps, you want to join the infantry, you want to join the artillery, whatever. So I chose the Gorkhas because only for playing football. I had nothing else in mind because the Gorkhas are very good footballers. They're very passionate about football. So I didn't know, for me, joining the Grenadiers, joining the Rajputana Rifles, joining the Nagas, everything would have been same. But my choice was filled as the Gorkhas. There are 3 choices you have to give. So I gave 4 Gorkha, 3 Gorkha and 1 Gorkha.
Okay, just for playing football.
Yeah, just for playing football.
I'll share a very similar story which I had after I completed my 12th. I thought I would pursue engineering, and back then, even till now, I'm a very passionate gym goer.
Okay.
So the college, I went to Bangalore to study, and the college I will select the college which has the best gym, or the gym which the main criteria is the gym. It needs to be in a very close proximity to my hostel.
Yeah.
That is the number one criteria. Placements, faculty and everything. I didn't have so much knowledge about
Very
all
nice.
those. So yeah, that's
Very
how
nice.
I selected.
Yeah.
But I could not become an engineer. That's a different story altogether. I
But
came back.
the most important thing is that you had a focus.
Yeah.
That what you want.
Yeah.
That is very important in life.
Absolutely.
If you are confused, the majority of the youth, they confused. ये भी कर लेते हैं, वो भी कर लेते हैं. अच्छा, इसको देख लेते हैं.
जिसमें होगा
देखा जाएगा. मेरा दोस्त ये किया है, so I should do this. नहीं, वो मौसी का लड़का ये किया था. That is very good. Let me do it. No, they don't have focus. You have a focus that I got to do the gym. The gym must be there.
Correct.
So that's a focus. It can be a gym, it can be a profession, it can be a anything, but you have a focus. That's very important in life.
The gym has always been a very top priority in my life.
Good,
Like the day I heard that the entire country is going on a lockdown, COVID ke time mein, the first thing which I ordered on Amazon was a set of dumbbells and everything so that I can work out at home.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we'll move on to that, to your Gorkha rifle experience. So tell us about that.
I played a lot of football to my heart's content.
Were you posted in
I was posted to 44GR, 4th Battalion, the 4th Gorkha Rifles.
Okay.
The battalion was at that time located in Nagaland.
Acha.
So it was a field posting, where no families are allowed and a lot of actions take place.
Directly from Chennai to Nagaland?
Yes.
You came back to home for?
I came for a short period of, I think, 15 days break.
15
and
days.
then I went to
And
Nagaland.
what was the difference in the reaction of your family members, like in those 15 days? Did they treat you differently or?
Not differently exactly, but they were all very proud. They were all very proud. I could see my mother. I could see my father. People coming to meet. People coming to see me. That ये कैसा है? ये क्या चीज़ है? Second lieutenant, ये officer. What is it? Well, I was an object of
interest.
Interest. Yes, that's the right word. Object of interest. So in the morning, my brother and others, they said, भैया हम लोग तो यहाँ पे running के लिए जाते हैं, चलेगा? मैं चल. So they ran for about, I think, 5.5 kilometers. I ran ahead of them, I think 7.5 or 8 kilometers. I was still not tired because my physical efficiency was at the peak.
Because of the training.
Yeah. And thereafter, then I went to Nagaland. I was posted in a place called Champang in Mon district, one of the very backward districts of India. There I was posted for I was there for about a year in Nagaland. Insurgency was on the wane at that time.
Acha.
Isaac Muiva, the famous NSCN leader.
What is NSCN, sir?
I think Naga Socialist, some party which were there, the insurgency.
I've heard that they also treat themselves like an army and they have their own uniform and all of that, right?
Uniform, and they were good. They were good. They used to fight the army everywhere. And their leader used to be Isaac Muiva. So Isaac Muiva had moved out from India. I think he was in China at that time. Later on, Government of India had negotiations with them and they gave up arms. And it has come back to normalcy, Nagaland now. But I have seen those places in those times when the situation was
So you
bad.
were officially a Gorkha, like...
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So there's this saying about the Gorkhas, I don't know, like you must know, of course, that if a person says
I know what you will
that
say.
he's not afraid of death, either he's lying or he's a Gorkha.
It's a very famous quote by Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
Acha, yeah.
He said that if someone says that he is not afraid, he's either a Gorkha or he's lying. Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw was a Gorkha himself.
Did you see him?
Yes, I had the good fortune. I had the good fortune of having lunch in his house.
Sam Manekshaw's house?
Yes.
Amazing,
That was
amazing.
I think that day I cannot forget. It was the Dashera. We Gorkhas, we celebrate Dashera in a big way.
Okay.
We call it Dasai. Dasai is like puja, same we have. So the senior person in that area, wherever we are, he calls us for lunch or dinner or a meal. So I was doing my Defence Services Staff College course, which is a very elite course in Wellington, near Ooty. And Field Marshal was staying there in Ooty.
Sam Manekshaw, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw. Okay.
Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
So how was he as a person? Like on screen, we have seen this film by
He's
Vicky Kaushal.
exactly like that.
Yeah. Have you seen the film?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen that, and I couldn't
That
believe.
charismatic
I couldn't
personality.
believe that I'm not seeing Field Marshal. I'm seeing Field Marshal being acted by somebody else. It was so close. Field Marshal called we were about 10 or 11 officers in that course, Gorkha officers.
Okay.
And we used to tell very proudly that we Gorkhas have been called for a lunch to the Field Marshal's house.
Okay.
So we went there along with my wife. We went there and outstanding. Field Marshal Manekshaw treated every person, each officer, we were majors at that time, our wives, with the greatest of warmth and hospitality.
So you had graduated, you have a promotion from lieutenant to major.
No, lieutenant, then you become a captain, then you become a major.
Okay.
And this is...
So what are the rankings like? Can you just briefly explain?
Presently, it is lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Then you become a captain.
Captain.
Then you become a major.
Major.
Then you become a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel.
Then you become a colonel.
Colonel. And you retired at that post.
I retired at that. Then you become a brigadier, major general, lieutenant general.
Okay.
And in our time, from major to lieutenant colonel, it used to be through a selection board. And all these ranks are by selection only. So how you're faring, how you're performing, it all depends on that. It's a selection board. There are a lot of people who are rejected and 30% goes ahead.
So let's go back to the Nagaland and Manipur days. So did you have any like combat experiences during those times? Because insurgency was also at its peak.
In Nagaland, no, because Nagaland that time the insurgency was going down.
Okay.
Manipur, yes, I will narrate to you Manipur thing. But before that, I'll tell you a very, I would say very, an incident which I remember very, very clearly. It is I was posted in a place called Chen Loi Shu. It's a place called Chen Loi Shu. From there, I had taken out a patrol and gone to a village called Wang Ti.
Acha, okay.
So when I reached Wangti, the village, just outside the village gate, they used to have a gate there, small gate made of bamboo. There was a showcase, sort of a rack, not a showcase, a rack.
All right.
And I found human skulls there placed. So
Oh my God.
I was literally shocked that what is this happening? Then I asked the Gaon Buddha. The Gaon Buddha says, the head man of the village. The Gaon Buddha said that when we were headhunters, we used to go down to the other villages, and whenever we had a problem, we used to fight, and we used to cut the head, bring it back, and keep it like that.
My God.
And then he showed me that he was wearing a necklace with 3 heads as the pendant.
3 human skulls.
Not the brass skulls, 3 of them hanging from his neck. So I said,
Acha.
what is this? He said, I cut off 3 persons' head.
My God.
This was in 1985.
And they were saying it very proudly.
Yeah, very proudly.
Okay.
But you see, gradually India, that would have happened about 10-15 years back from there, maybe in the 70s. But how India has progressed, like from Nagaland, when we moved to Jaipur, our next posting was Jaipur.
Okay.
We first moved in a military vehicle from Champang to a place called Mariani. From there, we boarded a meter gauge train. In those days, there used to be a meter gauge train.
Yeah.
Meter gauge train from Mariani to New Jalpaiguri.
Okay.
Then from New Jalpaiguri, it was Siliguri. From
Acha.
Siliguri, we transferred our load into a broad gauge train. From there, we went to Bharatpur. From Bharatpur, we unloaded and went to Jaipur, because Jaipur didn't have a broad gauge line. So moving from Nagaland to Jaipur was such a huge task. And in 15 years' time, when I was in Manipur, we were moving for Parakram that time when the parliament attack took place.
Okay.
We were moving in, I think in 96 hours, we were there from Manipur to Pokhran. So that's how India has developed infrastructure.
My God.
One may not always realize that what India has developed or how it has developed and where my taxpayers' money has gone. But yes, I have seen it. 15 years, the transformation of Northeast I have seen.
Amazing.
Coming to your point of insurgency in Manipur, I was posted in a place called Nonei.
Okay.
Nonei, Nonei, Nonei. I was the second in command of the battalion at that time, 4th Battalion, the 4th Gorkha Rifles.
Second in command means
The number 2 person.
the vice captain of a team.
Yeah, vice captain.
Okay.
Vice
I'll
captain.
ask you very layman kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
questions.
Obviously,
Okay.
you won't be knowing all these things.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was the vice captain of the team.
Huh.
So there was some intelligence input that there were terrorists who had militants. I won't say terrorists. Militants where they have made a camp somewhere in a place called Khopam Valley.
Okay.
Now, Khopam Valley is so far away that for purchasing salt, I'm talking of 2000. I'm talking of 1999, 2000. For purchasing salt, those people from Khopam Valley had to walk for 2 days. There was nothing. There was nothing in that
deserted
place.
place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously, if it is a deserted place, there is no paramilitary forces, there is no security forces, the insurgency will be there. So we launched an operation. So my 2 youngsters, both were captains, very spirited guys, Captain Kurubaya and Captain Chandrapal Singh Khati. They were launched from one side, and I, as the vice captain of the team, I came from the other side to put in the stop. Although we were trying to enclose those militants so that they drive them somewhere and they don't have a place to go where I'm waiting for them.
So you were closing in from the other side.
From the other side.
And how many people were there in the operation?
With me was about 15 or 20. And with him was about 10.
Okay.
The Ghatak platoon. We call it the Ghatak platoon, means the commando platoon.
Acha.
So we went there. It took me I think 14 hours to reach Kopam Valley walking.
Okay.
And we couldn't move in the daytime because we'll be seen and message will go. So we moved in a moonless night. So crossing Barak River, I think, is a moment which I'll remember throughout my life.
Okay.
Barak River is a very fast flowing river in Manipur.
Achha.
It goes through a gorge. And the kind of sound that Barak makes, you'll be afraid to hear that.
Okay.
And then when we were crossing that rope bridge with wooden planks, there were missing planks in between. So when I was crossing in that moonless
Was
night,
it a daytime operation or
no.
nighttime?
Nothing happens in daytime in Fauj.
Acha.
All operations are in
Nighttime. Okay.
Nighttime.
Acha. Okay.
And it's a moonless night.
Moonless
So
night.
I can still close my eyes and see Barak flowing from down below because the planks were missing. But solid thrill. Give
And
me
you
a
were
mauka again.
Moving with all those
Yeah,
weapons and all of that.
Everything.
Okay.
Give me a mauka again. हम फिर वही करेंगे.
Acha.
I will still want to walk on that less planked Barak bridge on a moonless night. I can. मतलब जन्म में यही करूँगा मैं. Because that moment I remember throughout my life. And we killed, I think, 5-6 militants. CPS Khati, Chandapal Singh Khati got a Saurya Chakra, and Kurumbaya got a Sena Medal in that operation. So that was Manipur. Thereafter, we moved out because of Parakram.
So they didn't have the slightest of hint that you guys were closing
No,
in.
they didn't have.
And
They
how
were
many, how many were there?
There were 6 of them. I think we eliminated 5 of them.
And the other one fled?
I think they got into the jungle. It was such a surprise that by the time we could eliminate 5, the 6th one, which was about a little away, so they fled. He fled. But it was a wonderful operation by these 2 youngsters. And then they came up and joined with me. And then we came back. We came back to the base.
So, sir, you've been on the LOC. Like from Nagaland, you were directly posted to the LOC, right?
No, there has been a lot of postings in between. From Nagaland, I went to Jaipur. From Jaipur, then I went to Sikkim, Nathula. I was posted at a height of more than 14,000 feet. We were there. The battalion was there. There I got married at that time in Sikkim. When I was posted in Sikkim. After that, we went to Roorkee. Then I went to Bangalore.
Which year? When did you get married?
88. December 88.
88, you got married. And was it a love marriage or an arranged marriage?
It was arranged come love.
Because it's not very easy to get married to an
army officer.
Army officer.
Yeah. My father and her father, they were college friends.
Okay.
So my father-in-law knew something about the army because he retired as a chief engineer from the PWD. So he had done a lot of work in North Bengal with the army in Binaguri, Hasimara cantonments. So he knew what army was, and he trusted his daughter. And we were courting. We were meeting each other, and then a funny thing. My father called me. He said that, come over to my office. I want to meet you. So when dad calls one of us to the office, we said, "Gya, abhi to khatam hai, kahani." We'd have done something, a blunder. So he said, I went there. So I said, I also want to talk to you. So he says that, yes, you tell me. I said, I want to marry so-and-so. I want to marry Motani. So he burst out laughing. He said, that's for what I called you also. That we have talked, the fathers have talked, and that's how we got married. But I got married when we were in field. So
you didn't get to spend a lot of time with your wife back in the days?
No. I used to come home every maybe 3 months, 4 months. Probably in 2 years tenure in the high altitude, I would have met her maybe in a year I would meet her for about, excepting the leaves, maybe 4 times. 4 times.
So was
5
it
times.
tough for you or for her? Like how was it?
It was more for her, for me also, because I was there, up there, but it was for her all alone, not knowing what a Fauji life is, and not
she's
understanding.
like she doesn't have any idea about the Fauji. Okay.
And she's from North Calcutta. She's very cultured, and for me, culture is like agriculture.
Okay.
So I'm totally opposite to her. So it was tough. It was tough on her, and she has been a pillar. She has been a pillar in my life. I'll tell you one incident from Sikkim. We were posted to Roorkee.
Okay.
And that's the time when my daughter was born, in 91. My elder daughter was born. And that's the time when Babri Masjid happened.
Okay.
So we were a standby battalion for Shahjahanpur and Muzaffarpur.
Acha.
Muzaffarnagar and Shahjahanpur. So Saharanpur, not Shahjahanpur, Saharanpur. Yeah, okay. Saharanpur. So we were told that be ready, and then one night suddenly a motorcycle rider came and said that Saab, jana padega. In that night, I still remember her face at about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the night. I am leaving the house and I'm telling her that I don't know when I'll come back, but be safe here. A young girl of about 23 years of age, 24, 25 years of age, with a small child of maybe 2 months, 3 months, seeing her husband vanishing in the night at about 10:30 in the... You don't know. And
somewhere in the back of the head, she also must have had this question that kya hoga, like whether he will return.
Obviously, because she didn't know anything.
Okay.
And
you couldn't disclose the details to her. You're not technically allowed to, right?
Technically, and why increase her tension? If I tell her that I'm going to some place where Babri Masjid and all these things have happened, she'll unnecessarily get tensed up. In those days, mobiles were also not there. So, hats off to her. She, like when my father-in-law passed away in 2004, I was commanding on the LOC. Okay. So, I couldn't come. That's one of the biggest regrets of my life, that when he died, passed away.
You couldn't be there.
I couldn't attend to his Shraddh ceremony. I couldn't be there next to her when she needed me most. But at that time, I thought that leaving those 1,000 people there without any father was not correct for me on the LOC.
Duty comes first.
Yeah, duty comes first, always and every time. So that's how I would say that I couldn't be next to her, but she understood. She was sad, but she understood. My profession is such that I had to do it that way.
So tell us about the LOC, because a lot of people have a lot of curiosity when it comes to the line of control, like the India and Pakistan border. So back in the days when you were there, how was it different from what it is now? Like, was there more tension, or what was the scenario like? Or is there any specific incident or day-to-day hassles you guys had to face? Or tell us about that.
So I'll talk you through in 2 parts.
Sure.
First is the Poonch part, where I was a major when the transborder firings were at the height. Transborder firing.
Okay.
Transborder firing. We used to call it LC firing, line of control firing.
What is it like?
Firing, we are firing, they are firing. So
is it like
Diwali?
Okay.
It's like Diwali.
Okay.
So those were the days when I was posted in Poonch. I was posted in a place called, ours was called Durga Battalion. So I was in Durga Post. That was the important place. And we were across the Betar Nala. The Poonch town was on one side, then there was Betar Nala. Betar Nala we used to cross when there was no water or very less water. But there were times when there was a lot of water, we had to cross it on a bulldozer. Because there was no bridges. There were no
bulldozer
bridges.
As in?
You see those rubble removing bulldozers? They can move anywhere.
Yeah.
So we used to stand on that top and the bulldozer used to take us across Betar Nala.
Okay.
So in Durga Post, I have seen firing pretty bad firing, LC firing, firing from across, from Pakistan. We had a very nice team. The CEO was very good. So a lot of responsibilities, a lot of actions used to take place. Like whenever you move on a road, there was a chance of an ID, the improvised explosive devices being placed there. So in the morning, the road opening parties or the ROPs go out, scanning every inch of the road from wherever the movement takes place from place A to place B. Then they sit at strategic positions overlooking and dominating the road. They give a report, then only the vehicles start moving out.
Okay.
So it's a daily process.
So they do vigilance from those points.
Yes.
Like they're snipers.
Not snipers exactly, but they take up points from where you can be ambushed.
Okay. Ambush as in attacked.
Yes.
Okay.
The main thing for the militants is that terrorists is that they will attack, launch an attack with a rocket launcher or with rifles on a convoy which is coming.
Have you seen anything like that?
I was not involved directly, but yes, I was sitting in Durga Post one day and I have seen across, there was another battalion where I saw a ID blowing up and a vehicle just boom. That was quite far off. That was about 2.5 kilometers away. But I could see it can happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime.
So in the back of your head, you also knew that the same thing might happen with me or like my battalion.
Yes, I was a company commander at that time. You don't think about those things, that this might happen to you. The biggest capability of a Fauji is that he can switch off and switch on. Like the moment I go into the battalion, it's very strong wording. I have to switch off from the family life. Because if I can't switch off, I can't switch on there. Because if somebody pulls me from the back with love and affection and with duties, I won't be able to deliver. So that's where, again, I'm coming back to the thing that the wife takes a big place because she's the one who does the duties, which you were supposed to be doing, which I was supposed to be doing.
So, sir, tell us more about Poonch. Like you were telling me that there is another incident which happened. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, in those times, we used to have a lot of firing, cross-border firing. The Pakistanis used to fire, we also used to fire. Okay. So later on, it became, there was a truce. Then at the government level, they decided that or firing nahi hoga and all those things. No firing of the LC. But in Poonch, this was in 96, I think, 95, 96. There used to be a lot of firing.
Okay.
In one of the posts, they had fired and we had suffered a damage. So after that, we made a coordinated attack. Attack means firing attack. It was a fire assault, we used to call. All sorts of weapons just opened up at a time as designated by the higher authorities. And it was nothing. We just wanted to teach them a lesson. And one of my colleagues there, he had even heard, there was a post which was very close, कि अल्लाह के नाम पे बख्श दो.
अच्छा.
We were firing so heavily.
With all kinds of weapons?
Yeah, with all kinds of weapons. Because that day we wanted to take certain amount of thing because we had lost one of our colleagues.
in the cross-border
cross-border firing. Before that, and they had just opened up just like that,
randomly.
Yeah, randomly, and they were not supposed to be that. And that boy unfortunately lost his life. So we were with certain amount of anger, fury, more of controlled fury, I would say. So that was an incident which I remember very clearly. And when the firing takes place, that is the time when you have to move from bunker to bunker. You have to move from place to place where the weapons are placed to keep your boys motivated. Because you as a leader cannot sit in your bunker behind on the other side of the thing and say that nahi tum log sambhal lo. So that is the time when you show your quality as a leader. You then move from post to post, from bunker to bunker, motivating, changing staying with them, and the firing is going on. We have certain amount of walls there, protections there, but yes, anything can happen at any time. But when you are given to handle the life of about 100-120 men under you, so you feel very motivated that your decision can it's a life and death situation for someone. So you can't sit quietly, you can't be saying that nahi theek hai un log ko karne do. We are not like that.
What was the main motive? Just revenge behind that attack, or you?
It used to happen like that in LC in those days. There was no reason. Just firing used to start. It was basically it was a hate. They used to fire. We used to fire. So it was like if India wins a game against Pakistan, we used to fire. So it was, I won't say fun, but yes, it was very chaos. It was a very much chaos.
What weapons, if you're allowed to say that, what weapons?
Medium machine guns, light machine guns, rifles, rocket launchers, all kinds of things used to be fired.
Okay.
So we have very solid sangars there. Sangars means brick stone walls. We have bunkers there, which is hard to penetrate. But despite that, they also have their fortification. We also have our fortification. So we used to fire. But later on, it became this thing when at the government level, they decided that there would be no transport firing. So that was for Poonch. That was Poonch that I remember of Poonch.
Okay. So if you have to describe the leadership philosophy, like how did you used to manage your troops and the resources, like the artilleries and everything, and the strategies? Because since you were leading, you were the person who used to plan the strategies and plan out everything. So how did you used to do that?
Not in Poonch. I was a company commander. Commander only takes orders from the commanding officer.
Achha.
He's a colonel.
Okay.
So as the colonel thought, he told us to do, and we did. So after being a major in Poonch, then we got moved to Ranchi. We came to Ranchi. From Ranchi, I qualified for that Defence Services Staff College, a very prestigious and elite one, where officers from all over the world, they come to do the course. From USA, from UK, from UAE, from Australia, they all come to do the course. So it's a niche kind of a course for the world.
And sir, I'll ask you one question. How is the Indian Army different from the other armies of the world?
We are more human. We are more closer to the boys. The officer and the Jawan relationships are much better. We know each other better, and we feel for each other. Whereas in the others, there is a huge difference. Huge difference. In this, I'll quote a famous incident of Field Marshal Manekshaw.
Okay.
When we defeated Pakistan in 1971, which led to the birth of Bangladesh, we had taken the highest number of POWs, prisoners of war, 90,000, which is a world record.
Yes.
And those 90,000 prisoners were treated outstandingly. I heard this from Field Marshal Manekshaw, so I can very well tell you that he had gone to see a POW camp, prisoner of war camp, somewhere here in Bengal.
Okay.
So he went there, and Pakistani officers were there, I think, but the Subedar Major was there, the highest person amongst the Jawans.
Okay.
The Subedar Major went with him, and he went there, and he saw the lines where the Pakistani prisoners were there. He asked the Subedar Major, "Saab, machhadani mil raha hai? Aapko sone ka khatmal to nahi hai?" And then he went to the langar, that is the cookhouse, and he said that मैं दाल पी सकता हूँ, तो खाना टेस्ट कर सकता हूँ? बोला हाँ साहब जरूर. Then he went to check the latrine.
Okay.
And there was a sweeper who was there cleaning the latrine. He was a Pakistani. So Field Marshal gave his hand to shake his hand. So he got so surprised that he took one step back, and he said that "Saab, मैं भंगी हूँ."
Bhangi matlab?
Bhangi means jamadar, sweeper.
अच्छा.
तो he said, "तो क्या हुआ? तुम तो अपना काम कर रहे हो, तो मेरे से हाथ नहीं मिलाएगा?" तो that guy came and shook hands, and thereafter the Subedar Major said to Field Marshal कि साहब अभी हमको पता लगा है इंडियन आर्मी क्यों हम लोग को हराया है. That is the relation that we enjoy with our boys.
Baapre.
Another incident of Field Marshal Manekshaw is that he went to Pakistan after the victory. He went to the Prime Minister's or somebody's residence for a lunch. So the host said that Manekshaw, Field Marshal Manekshaw, that time he was a general, Manekshaw, my staff would like to meet you.
Okay.
The people who were there serving the food and all. So they all got lined up, and he went and met. One of the guys, he took out his pagdi and put it at Field Marshal's feet.
In Pakistan?
Yes.
God, okay.
That's I think the biggest honor that can. So he said, "Aap pag kyun niche rakh rahe ho? Why are you putting your pagdi?" He picked it up. He said, "Saab, मेरा बेटे का खत आता है कि वो कितना अच्छा से वहां पे है, और आपने मेरे 2 बेटे फौज में है, उन लोग को बचा लिया. अगर बांग्लादेश में आप छोड़ देते तो वो लोग नोच के खा जाते." So that's what we are. That's what makes us different from the other armies.
My God.
In this also, taking a cue out of this, I would like to tell you about the little kind of ethos of the Gorkhas. Because I am a Gorkha, Field Marshal Manekshaw was also a Gorkha.
Okay.
So, the ethos of the Gorkha, how it has shaped my life.
Yeah.
That's very important to know that how the ethos of the Gorkhas have shaped my life. First is that they're not afraid of death. And they can kill with a smile. They can, it doesn't matter to them that whether...
Even if the other person is innocent, like they will not judge before killing, or what's...
No, if I give an order, kill, he will kill.
So it's just the order which matters.
Yeah, order.
Right.
And also they are so very, like in the battlefield, they will not think twice before obeying your orders.
Okay.
They will not question your orders. And second, what they have taught me is that live life at that instant. I have seen my boys, my Gorkha boys. In those days, Nike, Adidas, Puma shoes were not available in India. So in Nepal, they used to be available.
Okay.
So they used to come back from their leave wearing Nike shoes, Adidas shoes, very costly ones.
Acha.
Beautiful T-shirts of Tommy Hilfiger, maybe Pepe jeans.
Okay.
So seeing this kind of a thing as a youngster, when I was a captain, I asked them that, अरे तुमको वो तुम इतना पैसा खर्चा कर देते हो, तिमीलाई सेविंग को कोई तिमीले विचार गर्दै ना, मतलब डू यू नॉट थिंक अबाउट सेविंग?
Okay.
ही सेड, साहब मेरा पिताजी ने मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं रखे गया, लेकिन उसने मेरे को पढ़ाया लिखाया और काबिल किया नौकरी करने के लिए. मैं भी मेरे बेटे के लिए वही करूंगा, बाकी आगे उसका किस्मत. I learned this from them. That
Do you follow the same philosophy?
Same philosophy. I am not. I don't interfere in my daughter's lives. I don't tell them anything. I have prepared them for life. They are ready. They have been launched. I am there. Wherever they want, they can come back and fall back to me and ask. I will hold the umbrella over their head only if asked. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's how it should be, because in today's world, what happens, especially with parents, they're too afraid to let go.
Yes.
Because
yes.
if you don't push, suppose अगर कोई बच्चा है, उसको अगर आप धक्का दे के नहीं गिराओगे स्विमिंग पूल पे, वो तैरना नहीं सीखेगा. It's learning anything or mastering any art, the process is usually very, it might seem harsh or it might seem ruthless also.
At that time.
Yeah. At that time it might seem, but once you learn the art or the skill, then you know ki whatever was done to me by anyone was done for my good.
Yeah, with the right intention.
With the right intention.
With the right intention.
Intention matters.
Yeah. And the last thing that the Gorkhas taught me was that look after yourself also. We generally as life goes on, we forget to look after ourselves. We look after our parents, we look after our children, we look after our wives, we look after our relatives. When do you look after yourself? So that the Gorkhas have taught me, that look after yourself also. I am a very much misunderstood man. People think that I am very selfish.
Misunderstood by?
By the society, by the community. Everybody thinks that I am a very self-centered man. I only am interested in myself. I feel that if I can't make myself happy, I can't make people who are around me happy.
Yes, 100%.
So one has to be, yes, I should not be totally selfish, but yes, I must look after myself. So these are the 2-3 things which the Gorkhas have taught me.
I somehow feel that I have a resemblance in this sector also, because as a person, I also think that I'm a bit misunderstood, especially by people like who, within quotes, you call close to you. But what I believe is, if you're doing something for yourself, if you're empowering yourself, if you yourself become powerful, then only you can help people. If you yourself are not at a position to help others, and helping is also a very subjective thing, because we may think that, okay, because not everyone can help. Do you agree with me? You have to be professionally competent. Yes, 100%.
And you have to have the right moral character to help.
Correct.
If you have these 2 things, your intent will come out of that. So that's why people say that you are a very self-centered man. Yes, I am a self-centered man. Yes, I am selfish.
And it's good to be that way.
I've got no qualms about it. But yes, I look after my family. I look after everybody who wants some help from me. I have become more busy nowadays after retiring rather than when I was serving. After Wellington, I got posted to Manipur, where I told you certain incidents
Correct.
about the encounter. Then in 2003, my mother was in the detected with the cancer of abdomen in the fourth stage.
Acha.
So I asked for a compassionate ground posting to Calcutta, and I was there in Calcutta. So within 6 months, she expired. And after 1 year, my posting was due. I had already become selected to be a full colonel. And I got my posting to 4th Battalion, the 3rd Gorkha Rifles, 4-3GR or 4-3rd as we call. And this changed my life. This changed my life in the sense that I went to command the battalion on the LOC in a place called Lam, which is in Naushera, again in Jammu and Kashmir. So there were about 1,000 people under me, and about 16 kilometers of international border under my responsibility to see to that no infiltration takes place through that area and no untoward incident happens in that area.
Okay.
So I was a king of 4/3 with a thorn crown.
Okay.
It was only me, because, any decision that I take, it not only affects that person or a certain number of person, but it also affects their families. Because एक के साथ 4 से 5 आदमी जुड़ा हुआ होता है. Parents, children, wife, and you make a wrong decision, you give a wrong order.
Everyone suffers.
Yeah, those 5 people suffer. And if there are 10 people, there are 50 people suffering. So responsibility becomes more and more as a commanding officer.
Was there any incident during those time where you were monitoring those 16 kilometers of border?
No, there were no incidents because I take pride in that I was so proactive in my thoughts, in my strategies, in my actions, through my boys, through my officers, that we could dominate that area so much that nothing happened. If something had happened, I would have said that I failed. I look at it that way.
Yeah.
Generally, क्या होता है जब कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उस जगह में, we say that यार कुछ नहीं हुआ. बट ये कुछ नहीं हुआ के पीछे कितना कुछ करना पड़ता है, वो only the persons who are doing this they know. There was one incident on the LOC. It started snowing suddenly on that night, and I had about 11-12 officers with me. So some had gone out on ambush. They were holding positions. At about 9:30, 10 o'clock, it started snowing. I called all officers online on the cable radio, and I said that, please go out and sit with your boys. Go out to that ambush and see to it that the ambush goes through. That time they had, मन में तो बहुत गाली दिया होगा, but they still, after about my 18-19 years of command, they still say, sir, that was one of the best decisions that we went through, because all the officers coming out on the ambushes in that snowfall, sitting with the boys, that made my battalion strong.
There was no casualty.
No, there was no casualty.
Okay.
And
Great.
Gorkhas, another thing about Gorkhas is why we are so close with the boys, because we speak their language. We have to learn the Gorkhali within about 5 to 6 months of our commission to the battalion.
Okay.
So I speak Gorkhali more better than Bengali.
Achha, can you say a sentence for us?
I always say, ma janme ko Bengali, tara ma jaat ko Nepali.
Achha.
That means I was born a Bengali, but my caste is Nepali. But I take pride in that I am a Nepali.
Amazing. So, sir, after that, can you talk us about your retirement days? Like, when did you decide that?
Yes, it was in 2006 I finished my command. I brought the battalion from there to Darjeeling. I was there for about 10 to 12 months in Darjeeling.
Okay.
And I had decided by that time that I will leave the army.
Why did you decide that?
Yeah. three things. One was that, three things I would say.
Okay.
One is that single parenting was becoming difficult for my wife. I had pursued my career like a madman, and my dream was to become a commanding officer. And I became a commanding officer. So it was time to support her. And my daughters were in class 10 and class 8 when I got posted to Calcutta. So it was time to be next to her. So that was a major reason. Second was that 4-3GR or 4-3rd had given me so much of love and affection and respect. Yes, I did good for the battalion. I was... it was like a child to me. I nurtured it nicely. And they gave me so much of love and affection and respect that I think that nobody else could have given me anything more. And I won't get anything more than this in the army. That was a major factor. And the third and the last factor was that after becoming a commanding officer, when you progress as a colonel or a brigadier, you lose touch with the troops. You start pushing files and you do the desk work. Strategy, planning, analysis. I didn't want to do that. Boys are close to my heart. The men are they are my lungs, they are my heart, they are my liver. My officers who were there with me, they were like my head. Like my daughter got married in 2022.
Okay.
2 years back. 23. This is 25. So 2 years back, she got married in 23. There were about 12 officers who came from all over India who were in my team in Lam to attend my daughter's marriage. Unheard of. Unheard of. Even people say
that's your greatest success, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And
Absolutely.
they are still very close to me, and I had nurtured them. I had seen them grow, and I'm always proud about them. That's how. These are the three things for why I left the army.
And this was in which year?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
And after that, what did you decide to do?
2008, I was actually, 2008, I got an offer from JSW.
Okay.
JSW were putting up a 10,000 ton, 10 million ton steel plant in Shalboni, which is next to Mednipur. So that is the place where we had got the land, about 4,300 acres. My boss was Mr. Vishwadeep Gupta. He's the person who brought me into the corporate, and मैं तो उनका उंगली पकड़ के corporate में आया हूँ. And
so how was a corporate life different from the army life, if I ask you?
There's nothing different. Everything.
What was your job role in the corporate? What did you used to do?
Yeah, first in JSW was to maintain that, see that the land, there is no problem, because that is the time when the Singur agitation was happening.
Law and order, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not law and order, just see and then give a boundary wall. The boundary wall was of 34 kilometers,
My God.
the perimeter. And I can very proudly say that I was instrumental single-handedly with the local contractors to put up this 34 kilometers of boundary wall. It was a strategy with me and Mr. Vishwadeep Gupta we did. And in the Maoist areas, there was a lot of disturbance. They didn't want the wall to go through.
Okay.
So,
So how did you tackle that with the Maoists?
How does this kind of agitation start? How does terrorism start? How does militancy start? How does Maoism start? It's all because of no development in the area, no job. People are finding it very difficult to have food. So I made 7 segments of that 34 kilometer and employed 7 local contractors. And the thing was with them that they will employ only boys and men and women from those villages jiske samne se the boundary wall is going.
Okay.
So they got money, they were happy. They only didn't allow the Maoists to come in, and everything went on smooth. And then after 3 years, there was a incident which happened with the chief minister, the then chief minister, the late Mr. Buddhadev Bhattacharya. There was a blast in his convoy. So after that, the project got stalled.
Okay.
And I changed job and I went to Aditya Birla Group in a company called SL Mining.
Okay. And your job there was?
There was administration and security.
Administration
And
security.
also, for some time, I was given the duty of looking after the HR. But I failed. I failed because I proudly say so. Because why I failed?
That was not your type of job.
No. In army, you just asked me that how was it different? In army, it is either black or white. In corporate, I found that there are 51 shades of grey. That's how in HR, when I was looking after, it was that whatever is written in the standard operating procedure, I will follow. And HR is one organization where they write everything, but they don't follow that. There's a lot of leeway. There's a lot of a senior general manager can be drawing less pay than a manager.
Sir, I'll ask you a very philosophical kind of a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if there is one advice you would like to pass on to the younger generation, whether they want to join the armed forces or they want to pursue their passions or work in corporate, just the young generation, what message would you like to pass on?
First is that in my life, I have run my life on HSD. HSD means high-speed diesel. But for me, it stands for honesty, sincerity, and dedication. So you run your life on high-speed diesel or honesty, sincerity, and dedication and find happiness. If you can't find happiness, you can't do anything. And a very simple, sometimes somebody had asked me, can you quantify happiness? Is it quantifiable? You tell me, is it quantifiable, happiness?
I don't think so, because happiness is leading every day. Because every moment in life, if you're leading the way you want to lead it, that is happiness. Because if you think कि tomorrow I'll do something, day after tomorrow, 5 years later, उतना सोच के कुछ होता ही नहीं है. Today I have led a fulfilling day. The moment I go back to sleep, I reflect back, and whatever I wanted to do, or the basics of my life I have catered to, means it's okay. I cannot think whether I am happy or not happy.
Okay,
I'll look at it like that.
I'll show it in a different perspective.
Sure.
Every day you have a goal.
Yeah.
That I will have my food, I will do this, I will do A, B, C. Or in the week, I will do A, B, C. You have these goals are your desires. मतलब होता है तो बहुत अच्छा होता है. मतलब just not goal, we will say that ये मेरा इच्छा है. So can I put it like this? I heard this from a very, very learned person, Lieutenant General Padma Vibhushan M.L. Chibbar.
Okay.
I had heard it from him in 1991. And I still remember and I follow this. Happiness is equal to number of desires fulfilled divided by number of desires in mind.
Okay.
So you have your 2 desires in mind and you fulfill those 2 desires, it's a whole number. If you have 4 desires in mind and you fulfill 1, your happiness is 1/4. So keep your desires small, keep your expectations small, run your life on high-speed diesel, you will achieve everything, and your happiness result will be a 0. Then you are happy. This is my advice to all the youth, whoever is watching this. This is the way I look at it.
Amazing, amazing. Also, how does resilience, adaptability, and how do these play a role when it comes to pursuing one's passion? Because especially if we look back at your career, you went to army. You said that I joined army because I wanted to play football. We don't get to hear that because people take decisions doing a lot of calculations, and they have a lot of paperwork and homework and everything. So how do you what roles do resilience and adaptability play in pursuing the passion?
There's a famous football coach, Pep Guardiola. We all know.
My favorite.
Yeah, we all know about Pep. And there is a fantastic player called Mo Salah in Liverpool.
Amazing player.
So I have heard from Pep Guardiola and also from Mo Salah. Both of them say that when you miss a goal, you cannot think about that goal anymore, the missed chance.
Correct.
You have to start looking for the next opportunity. That is resilience. Forgetting about what has gone wrong, forgetting about how could I have done it, forgetting about how I should have done it, but focusing on what I am going to do it. That is resilience for me.
I think also it's my personal take, when you are just I would use the term obsessed or dedicated. Dedicated is a more sane term to use here. If you're dedicated to the process, I think the result it's very difficult. It's a very harsh thing to say that results won't matter, because वो तो एकदम भगवद गीता का भी एकदम like work without detachment. That's the ultimate thing. Not everyone can follow it, but I have applied and implemented this philosophy in many parts of my life, in my profession, in like whatever I do. I just follow the process, and the results, I think they happen the way it is supposed to happen. Because I don't think I have control over the result.
Agree.
I just have control over the process. If I get the result, because what is result, sir? Because result तो वो हम लोग ही define करते हैं ना. Like if I am preparing good, then I should get 95 or 100. Why don't we think like if we are preparing, why can't we get 30? Because ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. 30 मतलब it's something is wrong. If you're preparing, then you are supposed to get good marks, or you're supposed to get
good also we have defined, like you said, 95%, 90%. So you have to be true to yourself. I think that's a basic thing. If you are true to yourself, then you are honest. If you are true to yourself, then you are sincere. And if you are true to yourself, you are dedicated. Again, I come back to that: honesty, sincerity, and dedication. Results will follow.
Amazing. Also, one last question, sir. You've served in the army for how many years?
23.
23 years.
Yeah.
So we have talked about the things which you have tangibly got from the army. Is there anything which you feel that I didn't get this from the army? Is there anything like that?
No, you don't. It's not a question of getting or not getting, because army is a way of life.
Okay.
It's not a profession. It's either you are there or you are not there. If you go there to earn money, then you will be a failure.
Yeah.
If you go there to serve your motherland, probably you will be a failure, because you will be a disillusioned chap.
Why?
Because
Can you explain
it's a profession. It's a profession which makes you what you are. You are developed into an individual who is a fighter in one side, who is a gentleman on one side, and who is a savior on the other side. These things have been formatted into us. So it's a way of life. Like people say that if you're a good Fauji, the color of your blood is also olive green. So I can't say that what I didn't get from the army, because army is my way of life. I can't think what I got from the army, say the rank of colonel. Anywhere I use this, people give respect.
Absolutely.
Now I have earned this. Once I die, my daughter, she can always say that my father was a colonel in the army. I will still be respected. Down the line, 4 generations, somebody will say, my great-great-grandfather was in the army. He was a colonel. I will still be respected. That's what army gives you.
It's too heavy. So thank you. It's been an honor and an absolute pleasure having you on this show, sir.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's a mutual thing. I enjoyed every moment.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Shatash.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure this episode has given you a lot of goosebumps and really touched your hearts. So if you found this video useful, please make sure to like this video and share it with your loved ones. And also don't forget to press the bell icon so that the next time we post a video, you can already be notified about it. Until then, keep thinking deep.